We are now entering Phase 3. The SaaS environment is ready, but it's still an empty shell. Existing customers will need to move their scheduling configuration from the on-premises instance to SaaS. The first step involves converting a single agent. For this, we need the authentication key. Note that Automic SaaS uses Public Certificate Authority Signed (TLS) certificates. This means the root and intermediate certificates are already in Java and OS Trust stores, and there is no need to distribute certificates to enable agents. Select the appropriate agent to transition and download the authentication key and store it in the agent file system. In order for the agent to connect to the SaaS platform via the JCP endpoint, the INI configuration file needs to be updated. You set the SaaS system name, clear any CP references, set the SaaS JCP endpoint, set the path to the authentication package you downloaded and stored locally, clear any references to Trusted Cert folder, since we no longer rely on local TLS certificates, remove the key password, and finally set JCP1 in the JCP list section to the JCP endpoint. Note that the authentication package will be used once at initial connection. After that, it will no longer be needed. On a Linux system, the INI file is called ucxjlx6.ini. Simply make the necessary changes as indicated with the information we sent you. Agent file names vary with each platform. This next step is when design starts. Automate the reconfiguration of all your other agents. This will involve an Automic workflow and the use of the REST API. Finally, once the technical transition of the agents is done, you move to the configuration definitions. This entails a first-pass move of the objects using the transport case for the batch part of the transition, followed by the transition of small groups of objects using the XML export tool. You should be familiar with the transport case syntax. Here, we DB unload to the transport case. Objects will be brought in SaaS with the help of either the transport case or XML import. SaaS imposes certain constraints naturally tied to cloud environments. For this reason, you will need to audit your on-premises system for the presence of certain elements. Let's start with objects. If SQL var objects are present, make sure they are read-only as they are not permitted. Code pages modeled as custom code objects in operating system jobs cannot be natively transposed unless they are standard Automic format. Any job using a custom code object will require the code reference to be transported separately. DirectDB access is limited to read-only SQL var objects in SaaS. Any configuration relying on it will need to be retooled. Moving on to UTF-8 compatibility. Check for UTF-8 compatibility requirements since the Automic SaaS database can only host UTF-8 encoded data. Web interface authentication requires special attention since SaaS needs access to your systems. If any of the following functions have been deployed on-premises, notify anyone assisting you with your transition. The use of LDAP deployment, password exit, or SAML SSO require additional work so that SaaS can communicate with those systems, and on-premises and systems may get exposed to the internet in the process. The same applies to password vaults like CyberArk. Next is APIs. C-base call API can no longer be used and should be replaced with REST API tools. If your configuration relies heavily on the C-based call API, contact Broadcom at your earliest convenience. We have procedures in place to assist customers with these specific aspects. You can use Java API, but you must use the current jar and modify your code to handle TLS. Let's look at other items. The presence of a proxy requires additional attention. Your database maintenance jobs based on DB reorg and DB unload procedures should be disabled since Broadcom is now in charge of maintenance of the system. If you've deployed automation analytics and intelligence, it will have to be reconfigured since SaaS includes AI contractual entitlement but not hosting. You will continue to host AI on premises, and so you'll need to reconnect your systems. If you've integrated SMTPS technology for notifications, move this separately. SaaS does include an email capability. This concludes Phase 3. Ready to level up your skills for free? Broadcom Software Academy is your go-to hub for top-quality free training. Visit the Academy and start learning your way or explore something new. Our free content is just a click away.